Because this map says Kingdom of Judah, that means tribe of Judah. That means Hebrew Israelites. That means me, you, and all our mama them. We Hebrews. But what do the people of Benin have to say? You know, the people who actually live there.
In America, people say that Wida means Judah from the Bible. Is there any truth to that? Is there any truth, like as a tribe outside of the phone called Hebrew Israelites? Have they ever came or settled here in Wida and called it Judah, but then changed the name back to Wida? Is there any truth to that?
I think now that is nonsense. Because we have nothing like Judah in our things. When we hear Wida, you know, Wida, even the real name is Wida. Wida. Because the people who are living here in the former time are Wida.
Okay.
People who speak Wida.
Okay.
Now, when the settlers came, I mean the Europeans, talking about the French people, Portuguese, we have also American, we have different masters that time at colonial time, you know. So when they wanted to pronounce Wida, French people say Wida, and Portuguese say Chuta, other people say Wida.
Right.
So we have different spelling according to their maternal tongue.
Okay.
The maternal tongue of the settlers.
Okay.
So the real name of our city is Wida.
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 Okay.
Wida.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
So you never heard of, and you can ask this to the elder.
Yeah.
Has the elder ever heard of a tribe called the Hebrew Israelites settling here in Wida and calling it Judah at one time?
They are surprised that they have never heard that name.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm doing this, because there's a lot of misinformation and lies being spread in America.
Okay.
So we want to get the record straight and the facts.
They are really wrong.
Okay.
Nobody knows them.
First of all, he took you through the origin of the term. It's Portuguese origin, but really it came from the people there themselves called themselves Weda. Weda. He said that. And then the French called it Wida, and then the Portuguese called it Ajuda. Not because they saw Hebrews there and they saw people, the children of Israel, and they knew that they were enslaving the Israelites because God's, no, okay? The reason why they called it that was because they were attempting to pronounce Wida. But of course...
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Kakwadash. Double honors unto my elder apostles of the great millstone, the men who taught us this truth. And much love, greetings, and salutations to the elect tabernacle of David scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And I want to let that play just so y'all can see what I'm responding to. As you can see, your boy Vocab, aka Haman the Agagite in reincarnation, he's back at it again. And I bet he believed that he got us with this. He think that he got us with one. Well, nah, cuh. Nah, dog. Nah, bruh. You ain't got us with one. All right? And I like when y'all do these kind of videos, man, because all you're doing is you're highlighting our ministry and our faith to our broader audience. And Vocab, really, he can't get any views if he ain't talking about us. All right, everybody look forward to his videos only when he's trying to debunk the Israelites. Okay? But anyway, as the scriptures say, we cannot do nothing against the truth before it. And in this lesson, I want to show that, this so-called black woman, but she has that proud, arrogant spirit All right, she's a product of Babylon the Great. All right, she more than likely, worships her oppressor. All right, and when we tell our people who they are, this is, usually the response that we get. They fight tooth and nail to try to prove that they're not the Lord's chosen people because they've been beat down in society and they've been taught that they were black, African, everything but who they truly are. All right, and it tells us in Jeremiah 17, that we would discontinue from our heritage. All right, so this woman, she's lost, and she thought, because you got our people that'll get so-called educated, they'll go to college or a theologian degree, and just because they could speak proper English and know how to convey certain points, automatically mean that they're qualified to break down these scriptures. They think that they're very highly intelligent and smart, but this woman, all right, she didn't prove anything, man. All right, she used a so-called African, all right, a shirtless man, all right, giving his opinion, and that was supposed to be the I guess the cherry on top, so to speak. I guess that was supposed to be the drop the mic moment. Nah, all right, that didn't really prove anything, and I'm about to show that this woman is actually wrong. Now, this video that Vocab decided to stream or premiere, I actually happened to catch this same video months ago when it was first uploaded. All right, and I got to watch the video, and I saw back then, I was like, yo, this is bullshit. And when you go into the comment section, it's a lot of Israelites that's on there flaming her, and they're actually, giving her actual facts and sources, showing you that this woman, this whole video is totally off, is wrong. And she's not gonna admit to her error, because she has pride. She has an ego. A lot of these so-called educated women, they all got egos. All right. So her pride won't allow her to admit that she's wrong. Okay. But she thought she shut everything down with this. Now, I could scroll through the comments and you'll see Jake is just, blowing her up. All right. And one of the comments that kind of, stuck with me, and this is where I got the information that I'm going to bring. It was right here in the comments, and I guarantee you, this fool Vocab, which I believe he's an Edomite, he didn't think to go to the original page and scroll through the comments where you can find information that's actually debunking this entire video. All right, and let me go to the actual discourse that the woman that published this video, that the maker of this video, she had a discourse with a individual who seemed to basically know his facts. All right. Let me see. Here we go. This is the individual. All right. Jeffrey Davis. This was 4 months ago. All right. And his comment, it says, ignorance. First of all, Oida is a Portuguese word for Judah. I can prove this. Secondly, Africans or Bantus have lost much of their history after colonization, and that's the reason why those men in that video, where you have the man asking them about if they if there's any truth to them having any knowledge of their land being known as Judah, or the people of that land being called Judah. All right, and they can only speak on what they know. All right, but the information goes back to the 16th century, before they was even colonized. So of course they wouldn't know. All right, so that really didn't disprove anything. It says, however, the Europeans knew them as Jews. The original Aboriginal name for Judah and other Israelites was not Judah or Israel. You people need to study. Shaking my head. All right, and that's why it tells us in Timothy. Let me get that. And I'm glad I found that this particular post, from that individual, because it made me go ahead and respond and use that information to respond to show vocab that you uploaded this and you premiered this in vain, because this woman is totally wrong. All right, quit trying to recruit these silly Negroes, man. They don't know nothing. So let's go to 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy 2 and 15. In 2 Timothy 2 and 15, it says, "Study to shew thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." See? So, that's important to study these scriptures, but also we got to know the history too. It's good to know. And really, we don't need that to substantiate our faith. We don't need all that to believe that we're the children of Israel. Or the Spirit bear witness with our spirit. All right, we know that we're those people based on the history, the curses, all right, so on and so forth. The fact that we can actually break these words down. The Lord is not going to give this understanding to the heathen. He gives it to the children of Israel by way of the Holy Spirit. So that's how we know that we identify with the people of this book. We are those people, man. All right, so anyway, and it also tells us in Proverbs, I always quote that as well. Proverbs, was it 22? No, not 22. Proverbs 14 and I think 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. All right. So if you're simple, it's gonna sound like she's smart and she knows what she's saying, and she's quoting sources and giving her interpretation to dispel basically what we teach. But you'll see that like it says in was that Proverbs 9 and 13, the simple woman is clamorous, the foolish woman is clamorous, she is simple and knoweth nothing. Okay, this is just a simple woman that thinks she knows the scriptures. And the scriptures also tell you so much for being a Christian. It tells you women not to not teach. That's also in Timothy, 1 Timothy 2, and was it 11 or 12? Now suffer not a woman to teach, and nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. They don't even follow the scriptures. Okay? But they follow the serpent. The serpent basically liberated the woman, starting with Eve. And that's why she has that attitude. All right? But anyway, going back to the original video, all right, and then basically he went back and forth with her and proved, and she tried to throw a little source out there, and actually this same book, I actually decided to look it up as well, and her own book disproves her her narrative. Okay, so you can see they went back and forth for a while. Man, this is it. All right, when she replied to him, this is the book right here, and I have it pulled up. And this right here, but I'm not gonna go to it right now. But let me scroll up a bit and let me go up to the top, and you'll see where I got the source from. All right, that I'm going to use in this lesson, and it came from this brother right here. He calls himself a utilitarian. He said this video is 100% false. Here is the link to the bulletin 1891 T14 page 272. So I basically clicked on it, and basically when you click on the link, it actually gives you a copy of the page, all right, going into the information, but it's actually written in or typed in French. And obviously, I'm not fluent in French. I don't know French. So what did I do? I actually typed in majority of these words in the Google Translator, so I can see what it actually reads. And when you see what this actually reads, this goes completely against. All right, it contradicts her narrative. Okay, and this is a legit source. Okay, so what I did was I copied and pasted a lot of these words into the Google Translator, and we're gonna read it. All right, so obviously it says Waida, right, and then it gives the different variations depending on the language, whether it came from the Portuguese, or whether it came from the Dutch, whether it came from the French. These were all European colonizers, Edomites, and this is their different variations of the particular land of people. This is what they called them. All right. It says Waida, and then it gives you this, right? So I looked this up. All right. So let's go to it.
Est une ville ancienne.
And this is French.
Est une ville ancienne.
And it's translated to is an ancient city. So that means is a ancient city. All right, we're talking about Waida. And then you have this word right here. And right here, this is a Roman numeral for 16. All right, so you look that up. Let's let them translate that.
Fréquenté depuis le siècle. Fréquenté depuis le siècle.
Which is translated to frequented since the century, meaning what? The 16th century, right? And then you have over here, I looked that up, and it says, well, I actually looked this up, and it means slave ship.
Négrier.
All right, slave ship. Okay. And then, of course, that's dealing with the Portuguese. So this was dealing with, the Portuguese enslavers, colonizers, man. All right, you remember going to the history, it was the Portuguese and the Spanish that actually started that slave trade. Or the first slaves were brought from Europe. They were brought from Portugal and Spain. So this is going into that time frame. All right, before we started getting shipped from Africa, the west coast of Africa, to the Americas. All right. So continuing on, I looked this up, and let's get the translate.
Qui lui donne son nom. Qui lui donne son nom.
Which means it says which gives its name, right? So that's what that says there, right? And then it says let's go to it.
Ses habitants étayant d'îlets.
And it means its inhabitants were called the. All right, so that's what that says there. And then, of course, what does that say there? The Judites. Okay, more than likely that's what that's saying. The Jews or the Judites. But this is what it says in French. Okay. And then I looked this up. It says let's consider it in fecum, right? And let's go right here. And then let's have her pronounce it.
Les considérait en effet comme.
I guess I said that wrong. Indeed regarded them as. Okay, so that's what that says. Indeed regarded them as, right? And then this word right here. Rested strabus desperis. I probably said that wrong. Let's hear her say it.
Un reste de tribus disperses.
A remnant of dispersed tribes. And then it says, they Israel. You see that? They Israel. So based on the translation of what's being said here, so let's read it in English now. is basically Wida is an ancient city frequented since the century through the basically dealing with the Portuguese slave ships, which gives it its name. Its inhabitants were called the, indeed regarded them as Israel. Okay, Israel, man. Okay, I think I got that. I think I read that backwards. Um, yep, it says which gives it its name, right? Its inhabitants were called the. Let me go back to there real quick. The what? The Jews. Okay, the Israelites, the Judites. All right, and then it said basically they indeed regarded them as a remnant of dispersed tribes of Israel. The day meaning of Israel. So this source is telling you that these Portuguese regarded them as the children, the remnant of the dispersed of Israel. All right, they were called Judites. So this woman, she was very confident in the narrative that she's trying to pull based off of her interpretation or her vain opinion, and she thought she was doing something. You see? And then let me go to the actual book that she tried to pull out on the comment board. Let's go here. This is from a book called Oida, The Social History of a West African Slaving Port, 1727 to 1892. Right, and I'm gonna get straight to the point. It says, although Oida is the spelling of the town's name current nowadays, it occurs in European sources between the 17th and 19th centuries in various other forms. In English, most commonly Wida, in Dutch, Fida, in French, Juda, and in Portuguese, Ajuda. All these are attempts to render an indigenous name that would be more correctly written by modern conventions as Hueda, or in dialect variant, Peda. Strictly and originally, Hueda was not the name of the town nowadays called Hueda, but rather of the kingdom to which it belonged in the late 17th and early 16th centuries, whose capital was Savi. 11 kilometers further north. The people of Hueda belonged to the same linguistic group as the Fan of Dahomey. All right, the Fan of Dahomey, although historically distinct from them, this language family is nowadays generally called by scholars GB, but formerly commonly Iwi or Adja, and in French colonial usage, the Jeji, if I'm pronouncing it right. All right, now I want to kind of key on, all right, this part right here, where it says, but formerly commonly Iwi or Adja, right? Now, when you look up who the Ui is, you go to the Ghana web, right? Because this is based in that area, right? They come from Ghana. It says how the name Erver or Iwi became Hebrew. As I pointed out in a previous article, the proper pronunciation of the name of my people is Erver and not Ui. All right, so I guess it was changed to that. Uh, Erver is also the proper name of our ancestors, the ancient Israelites. The ancient Israelites were never called Jews or Hebrews. Well, this person is basically trying to be technical. All right, we know that that's the newest transliteration of basically what you would call Yahawada in the actual Hebrew, Lashon Kodash. All right, we know that they were known as the Yahawada. All right, that's the proper name of saying Jew, and the proper way of saying Hebrew is Ibar or Ibarya. Okay, it says how these names came about is what I will explain now. So this person knows a little bit about their history. Okay, so I guess what they call today is kind of corrupted. It's not what they originally called it, but they are admitting that their descendants go back to the ancient Israelites. You see? So let me go back. And I thought that was interesting. I came across that. Okay. So it basically means Hebrew. Okay. Yeah, that's a Hebrew. That's definitely a Hebrew word, as we can see. Yep. Yep. So that's pretty much the point, man. Brothers can go in and look this stuff up, man. It's all available. Okay. So according to her source, these same people, they happen to have that ancestry originating back to a people that spoke the original language. And I just did the research on that, man. So obviously these were Israelites, and that's why those French and Portuguese, that's why they refer to them as this term. Okay. But she tried to go based off of a map and to try to debunk this whole thing. Well, this is a failed attempt. All right. And I was, dealing with I was gonna pull this out, but let me just exit out. I was gonna pull out Isaiah 1 and 3 about how people just do not consider. They do not consider being the people, the chosen people, man. They rather be black, African, Christian, they don't want to be who they are. That's why the Lord is gonna cut off 2/3 of our people, man. But as far as you vocab, is 2 Corinthians 13 and verse 8. And it says, "For we could do nothing against the truth, but for the truth." All right. So all you do is just give us ammunition to further just bring this information out and constantly break down these strongholds that you keep putting out there, man. Because we know that you working on the left hand side, man. All right. Satan sent you. Okay. You definitely have been sent, and you've been a spiritual pinata or speed bag, since you surfaced on the scene. But I give it to you, man. You're one of the most devoted Christian apologists that we've ever came across, man, bar none. Because you're the only one that really continue to oppose or resist our faith. Okay, you're nonstop with it, man. So I give you that. You're very diligent, man. But as long as you keep doing what you do, it's in vain at the end of the day. Okay, you're not gonna sway the elect from their faith. All right, now if there's any undesirables that the Lord don't want, they'll probably see your video and be like, you know what? Yeah, these Hebrews here, they are wrong. So let me jump back into the Christian world. Let me go back to sleep. Let me go back to slavery. All these Israelites that leave and go on your platform, these are all people who the Lord, temporarily woke up, but He took the spirit away from them. He took away their breath, and they went right back into their grave. All right. There's Acts 5 and 38 and 39. It says, "And now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel if this counsel of this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it, lest haply you be found even to fight against the Most High. And that's all you doing. That's all you doing. All right, you and Eve, the serpent and Eve, you know, y'all been in combat with the Lord, you know, since the garden, man. And you're losing. You've been losing. All right. So anyway, you know, that's pretty much it, man. I think I, you know, proved the point. And you know, the water to, you know, the brother, the individual that left that source. All right, and I'm pretty sure there's other sources out there, but you know, he brought it through. Slacky, I think it was this one. All right. You go to this link right here, and it leads you to this right here. And this is a direct cut to this entire video that this woman tried to make against us. Okay. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Shai. Until next time, Shalom.